Gail Vaz-Oxlade is here with her book, Money Rules. Rule your money or your money will rule you.
Uh-huh.
Hello, Gail.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Good to have you here. You're originally from Jamaica, we just discovered?
Yes.
Now living in the near Toronto.
Near Toronto.
Southern Ontario. What, you have some different ideas in this book.
I do have some
You
different
like
ideas.
bucked the trend on a couple of fronts here.
Mostly because I think people drank the Kool-Aid, and I'm trying to get them to get back to reality.
Yours is a different flavor, is that what you're saying?
Well, you know, the thing is that we seem to be so willing to give up control over our money to other people.
Like?
Financial institutions, we walk in there, you know, think of your financial institution as a used car sales lot. Would you walk onto the used car sales lot and say to the guy, so tell me which car to buy and how much I should pay? So why do you do the same thing in a bank? How much should I borrow?
Do we do that?
Yeah. Every time you go and apply for a loan and you say to someone, how much should I borrow? Like, what can I get?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is that there are lots of products that they sell that you should not buy. And there are rules in here that say, don't buy that product.
Really?
Yeah.
You also say some of the points of your book, it's not your money until it's in the bank.
Yeah. You think you're going to get a commission, you think you're going to get a bonus, you think you're going to get a raise. People go out and they spend it. They haven't got it yet and they spent it. You don't do that, right?
But you also say, no, because I don't get any raises. You also say, take pleasure from your money.
Absolutely. If it's your money. There's nothing wrong with spending your money the way that brings you joy and happiness, as long as it's your money. The problem I have is when people assume the money they haven't earned yet, which is what debt is. You spent money you haven't earned yet.
Right.
Is theirs to spend in any way they want. But certainly, if you have money in the bank and you want to go on a vacation, or you want to buy yourself a new houseplant, or you want to drink lots of lovely tea, like I do,
all right.
Do it.
I open the book and I start reading this. We've all been conditioned to believe that owning a house is way better than renting. Rule number one, renting is not a waste of money.
That's right. We have this mantra that says that the people that rent are slugs and have no sense of ambition. And that's not true.
You should be owning a house.
Exactly. That's what we're
Hear
raised
that all
to
the
believe.
time.
Absolutely. And it doesn't apply to everybody.
Right.
Okay, if you're very mobile, if you want to live in a city center and owning your own place would mean that you were giving up 50-60% of your income to house payments, that's ridiculous.
I've also been advised on several occasions to borrow money and put it in my RSP at this time.
And you say
no to that. Why?
Well, the only people who should borrow and put into an RSP are people that can afford to pay that loan back in 1 year, are in the highest tax bracket, and can also make this year's contribution, because otherwise what you're doing is you're climbing on a hamster wheel.
Yes, and besides, you're led to believe through certain financial institutions, you're led to believe that your rebate from the government will be close to covering what you borrow, but that's not the case.
It's not always the case.
No.
Sometimes if the calculation's done right, but very often they do the calculation in a very superficial way.
Right. What does this mean? If you freeze, reboot.
Okay, so you can't expect to start changing what you're doing or even to be on track and never make a mistake.
Right.
Sometimes what happens is you get thrown off track. You know, life has its way of just grabbing you by the short and curlies.
Right.
So what I say to people is, if you get into that position where, you know, you're just like in a deer in headlights, just stop for a minute, take a deep breath, relax, and then reboot yourself and get back on track. It's more important that you get back on track.
What do you say to people, though, right now who are not on track and you know, they'd have to make some serious changes and moves to get back on track?
Boo-hoo. If you're serious about taking control of your money in your life, you will do it. All those people that have excuses or whine, they're not serious yet. Go away. Yeah. We spend 28 hours a week watching television. Yes. You can't spend 1 hour a week managing your money? No. You're a wuss.
Do it right after this show, though. Like, watch this show and then manage your money. Where do you get your information? What's your background in terms of the world of finance?
Most of this, 85% of everything in here.
Common sense.
Thank you.
Do you have a financial background?
I do not. I designed training programs for banks and trust companies many, many years ago, and they literally used to ship me all their material in boxes, and I would design the educational programs for their people.
So you do have financial background. But not in the traditional sort
Not
of
in the
sense.
traditional sense. Which just says anybody can do this. This does not require a university education or
No.
degree in economics.
Yeah.
This is primarily common sense.
I like this because I like the way it's laid out, and I like that it's in regular terms. I don't want to say simple terms because we're all simple people. You know what I mean? But regular terms.
It's in English.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
like
not written
there's
in
one rule in
finances.
here that says crap happens, and it does.
All the time.
All the time. Just when you think you got a few bucks that you can do something with for yourself, bam.
Absolutely. And if you don't have a little money in the bank, you have no options.
No.
Which is why I say to people, you can't rely on your credit because credit is debt waiting to happen. If you want to have a backup system, you need cash in the bank.
Cash is king. Gail Vaz-Oxlade, Money Rules is the name of the book. Good job.
Thanks.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Oh.